What should I absolutely not do when visiting your country? Ireland. We've already heard your Irish are drunks joke. We've already heard your famine joke. Believe us. China. Don't drink the tap water unless you want to have diarrhea or die. BTW guys. This doesn't just apply to visitors. It's the same for us Chinese as well. The main reason, though there are a couple, why we drink hot water and get annoyed if a restaurant doesn't serve it, is because drinking Chinese tap water will make us pretty ill if we don't boil it first. Deal drugs, punishment is death, Singapore. Deal drugs, punishment is death, China. China. Do not go anywhere without a roll of toilet paper or tissue on you. Switzerland. Don't assume that people can't understand you if you speak English. Everyone speaks English. I've heard many foreigners speaking too loudly and vulgarly in public. I am foreign myself. Don't speak loud German, French, Italian, English or a Yugoslavian language. There's at least one person around you that speaks 2 or more of these languages. Denmark. Do not stand on or walk on our biker lanes. You'll be yelled at like never before or possibly be run over by an angry cyclist. Netherlands. Checking in. Don't do this here either. You'll probably get run over and screamed at by the person running you over for not looking where you're walking. Belgium. Don't compliment them on anything. They'll spend the next half hour bringing themselves down and assure you everything and everyone elsewhere is better. You guys are going to win the World Cup next year. This isn't a really major faux pas, but don't tip in Japan. Don't do it. If you try, whoever you attempted to tip is likely going to be a little upset. You are pretty much calling them unprofessional because you think they need that extra help or something. UK. Don't push in line. Don't ever push in. We will never say anything but it will freaking ruin our day. Edit. Seems to have already been mentioned. That's how serious this crap is. UK. Don't mess with a queue. Wales. Don't call us English. Scotland. Don't call us English. Scandinavia. Don't talk to us sober. Seems to be the TLDR of this thread. Latvia. Specifically Riga. Don't climb the Monument of Freedom, or probably any monument. The police arrest you and will probably hit you with a baton. Source. Baton. Don't pee on it either. Please. I'm looking at you, British tourists. When in America, never, ever touch other people's children, especially if you are a stranger to them. I took a bunch of Argentinian friends to a mall once and they were patting little kids on the head, which is common in their country. We almost got arrested. From some Italy friends. Don't lose your receipts. Counterfeiting is a problem, but so is corruption. If you buy a fake piece of crap and don't have a receipt to prove you got scammed, the police will give you a hard time. Island calling. Always stand your ground. People will practically fight each other to be the one to buy the next round of drinks. They will tell you to put your wallet away. Do not listen to them. If you don't stand your ground, you may as well call their mother a bee and shag their wife in front of them, because that is how much of a prick they'll think you are. Also, don't ever try to do an Irish accent. The major problem is there's no such thing. There's a Dublin, Cork, Belfast etc accent. Try to amalgamate them into an Irish accent and you will sound like a leprechaun. A leprechaun that's crap at doing accents. Edit. Right. Finding myself copy and pasting replies. So here we go. 1. If someone buys you a drink, buy them one back. Simple as that. 2. This is not gender specific. I am a woman. I earn what the boys earn. I expect to be treated as an equal. Why wouldn't I behave as one? 3. Everyone gets a bit of wandering accent syndrome. What you will probably be mimicking is tonality rather than accent. That's fine. It's somebody intentionally and consciously doing the accent that makes me want to kick them in the shins. As someone who plans on traveling to Ireland, this was helpful. Western United States. Don't drive into the deserts in summer without water and a good map, not GPS. Same for the mountains in winter. If you go exploring, tell someone where you are going, how you will get there, and when you will be back. I literally made this mistake once and just headed up north on a whim, almost freaking died. No one knew where I was. Phone reception wasn't working. A map could have saved me around 20 hours of wondering if I was going to freaking die. Never walk in the streets, especially at night. Never trust to any police officer. Never take a taxi in the streets. Never show your money in public. Never use cell phones in the streets. I am from Venezuela. Must be a nice place. England. London to be specific. Don't talk to people on the tube. Got that? The tube is as sacred to us as the shower. It is where we reminisce about our pasts in complete silence. It is a memorial to fallen dreams, a cemetery of missed opportunities, but most of all it is a sanctuary of regret, and you will treat it like a library. Sit down, shut the frick up, read a fricking book and ignore the tears rolling down the face of the person next to you. Norway. Don't sit next to people you don't know on the bus. Actually, let's change that. Don't interact with strangers unless it's absolutely necessary. Goes for Sweden and Finland too. Turkey. Take off your shoes when you enter the house unless the host really expressively states you can leave them on. Don't refuse the tea. It's rude. Edit 2. If you are a Westerner and meet new people of the other gender, let them make the first move. If they want to greet you with a handshake or a cheek kiss, go along with it, else smile and say something polite. Don't touch a person of the other gender in any way unless he/she touches you first. Goes especially for men. Edit. This is if you are a Westerner. Let the Turkish make the first move. Don't say anything against Ataturk. Even the most progressive, liberal and anti-authority Turkish will suddenly transform into a raging patriot. I've been to Turkey, and I'm amazed that anyone would ever even want to refuse that tea. Jamaica. Do not wander too far off the resort unless you have a trusted resort guide or family to be with you, especially if you're white or have a distinct foreign accent. Do not cut the queue in Sweden. You will not get shouted at or any angry stares, but you might cause someone writing a very angry Facebook status and their friends will be upset too. These Facebook status writers are ruining this country. Wales. Don't refer to us as English, ever. Anything else goes really. France. When on the Paris metro, saying a word or even showing a glimpse of emotion equals instant French death glare. I was told you people just stared no matter what, and that did seem to be the case. One person did hear me speaking English however, and tapped me on the shoulder and proclaimed "ET is 5 o'clock. It wasn't, it was 2. USA. This place is huge. Visiting for a week? You don't want to drive from Boston to Nick to Florida. You will spend all of your time in a car. Particularly European tourists don't seem to grasp how long it will take. This is a good one. Some Brit friends of mine once tried to put together a road trip across the states from NY to La. They wanted to do it in a week. Sweden here. Don't talk to anyone you meet in town, in stores or on the street if it's in the middle of the day, unless it's only for directions. Always sit as far away as possible from other people while riding in a public transport. If the only available seats are next to someone else, keep standing instead. Bonus. When talking to a Swede, avoid bringing up the question of what their net income is or which political party they vote for, especially when other Swedes are within earshot. My GF is Swedish. You forgot to stand 1 kilometer away from the next person in line at a bus stop. In Montreal we form a line but kinda squished. To the new wave of study abroaders who just showed up, don't wear cute off-jean shorts. Dudes too. Tank tops or miniskirts in the Middle East. You will get looks you don't want at the very minimum. Do try to put on an Australian accent. Seriously, it's hilarious for us. Don't tell anybody born north of Birmingham that Thatcher wasn't all that bad. England. Just don't say that name. Do not, under any circumstances, come to Scotland and 1. Call anyone English. 2. Shout freedom expecting a reaction. Seriously saw someone do this once at Edinburgh Castle. 3. Turn down a drink. The measure of a man is directly proportional to how much alcohol he can consume. USA. Don't try and visit Nick, Washington DC, Disney World, Chicago, Grand Canyon, Hollywood, and Hawaii all on your week-long vacation. You're gonna have a bad time. 3/4 of that vacation will be spent on airplanes. Ireland. Bring money, spend it. Nice try, Ireland. Greece. Don't come looking for a job. England. We can complain about how shite our country is all we want, but you're not allowed to. We won't protest too loudly about it and probably won't even say anything, but inside we're consulting our in-brain thesaurus for things to put in the strongly worded letter we're going to write, expressing our discontent at your behavior. Then write that letter, but never send it. Malta. Don't go to the south and let everyone know that you're foreign. Don't expect the buses to be on time. Don't even try to speak Maltese if you have absolutely no idea how to. You will hear the word liber a lot. It means sperm. For some reason we say it loud and as often as possible. Other than that, the beaches are beautiful, the women just as beautiful, and the nightlife is incredible. Make sure you go to Passavile, main party strip, on a Friday and you're in for a good time. Canada. Watch out for Scott. He's a dong. Reports of my dickness have been greatly exaggerated. Honestly, I think this goes for any country, but do not try to imitate the accent. You'll just sound stupid. Actually, I think it's hilarious when foreigners do an American accent. For the love of all that's holy, do not cut into a queue here in the UK. You'll get a tutting at like you wouldn't believe. Iran. Men should not wear shorts in public. It just isn't done. Do not openly criticize the government homosexuality. People will shun you and you will attract unwanted attention. Locals may charge you for taking pictures of their town's countryside. Under no circumstances should you feel pressured to pay them. I think everyone knows about the pressures on women. If you are buxom, you may attract catcalls on the street and be openly stared at. Try to ignore and know that no alternative clothing will have prevented it. You may be asked for your social network credentials password on entry to the country if you make trouble. Before leaving your country of origin, make a fake profile. Enjoy your trip. Do not openly criticize homosexuality. Ah yes, Iran, the San Francisco of the Middle East. Japan here. Just be polite. Also, please stop demanding that we take down the Nazi swastikas from our Buddhist temples. They have nothing to do with Nazis and have been a symbol of Buddhism for thousands of years. This is Australia. You can do whatever the heck you like. India. There's lots of little cultural taboos, but one thing I can remember right now is, never refer to someone older than you by their name. If you are young, below 20ish, you can refer to middle-aged and older people as auntie and uncle, or sir and mom. It gets slightly confusing when you are around 20, like I am, and the person is in their late 20s or early 30s. But yeah, never call someone older by their name. My cousin who lives in the US once brought her friend over on a trip to India. The friend asked my grandmother for her name, and referred to her by the name once. My grandmother flipped, and decided she doesn't like foreigners, haha. The Netherlands. Don't cycle on a sidewalk. Don't walk on a bike lane. Rare elephant strawberry like for good luck, ignore for 11 years of bad luck. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video.